Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. A bonus video today, ladies and gentlemen. I normally don't post on Saturdays, but this is something that I have to talk about because it gets under my skin a little bit. Am I empathetic to those people that have really big student loans? In a way I am, because the system is against them just like it's against everyone else. But also, am I empathetic against all of those people that never took out a student loan and now have to pay back the student loans of those people that did not do their due diligence and that took out the student loans and now don't want to pay them back? Well, let's talk about it for a little bit. I will never be on the side of those that say that student loans should be forgiven, but I can compromise, and I would say that instead of forgiving student loans, to make it so that the people that took out those loans don't have to pay the interest on them, because that's really what gets you in the end if you have a student loan. Student debt cancellation is extremely unfair. I agree with that 100%, but here they articulate 10 reasons why. And here they're saying that this article was inspired by a tweet that Elizabeth Warren, you know, that person that's in the government that said that she was a specific race so that she can get a full ride to an Ivy League college, and then it turns out that she's really not that race, but she's still in government. Like I told you, ladies and gentlemen, there's two clubs. You ain't in the club that really matters. But I digress. Man, I almost ran away with that one, didn't I, ladies and gentlemen? Let's take a look at the tweet and 10 reasons why student loan forgiveness is unfair. Thanks to the Biden and Harris administration approving $167 billion of student debt cancellation, 4.75 million Americans can keep money in their pockets to save up for a home or save for retirement, both of which the government has made it an impossibility. Try to apply for a home loan nowadays, ladies and gentlemen. About 99% of Americans don't qualify. Why? Their policies. People can't even retire anymore. Go to your local Walmart and take a look at the greeters there. Incredible. Or to start a family, they say. And another thing, people are putting off starting families because of all of this debt that not only are we as a nation in, but debt that they're in themselves. Why? Because they are just surviving, trying to keep their heads above water. And she finishes up by saying that's life-changing and more relief is on the way. So in other words, let's steal from those of you that were responsible, that either paid off your student loan or went to a trade school to become a blue-collar worker or joined the military, all right? And let's go ahead and steal from you to pay back the loans of those people that were not responsible enough to pay it back, just so that they can get a piece of paper and a job that has nothing to do or does not correlate with that degree they got. There again, I ran away again. Anyways, I digress. And then this here rebuttal by Miss Michelle Tandler says there is something about this cancel student debt bill that just feels deeply unfair to me. It should feel deeply unfair because it is unfair and it is unjust. Why have taxes from plumbers and electricians go toward paying the unpaid bills of college and master's grads? They are a lot more educated than these blue-collar workers, and they're always toting that they are. Why can't they pay their own bills? Why? Because as soon as government got into the student loan debt thing, it made college educations a lot more expensive. Colleges just bumped up the price that they charge per semester by, I don't know, hundreds of percents, if not thousands over the year. Why? Because the government came in and said, hey, I have a great idea. Let me go ahead and subsidize student loans by guaranteeing them. Well, ladies and gentlemen, do you know what happens when government subsidizes something? It usually gets abused. She finishes off by saying, I wish we were building a safety net for people in poverty with the $167 billion. I have to say that I disagree with that. The government should not be in the business of bailing anyone, anything, any entity out. I know some of you are going to say, AP, you just don't have a heart. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not the government's job to dictate to you how your money should be spent. You remember when you earned your first paycheck, maybe when you were a teenager or a tween, and you went to McDonald's and earned, I don't know, $47 your first week or something like that. How did you like earning that money? And then how did you like, if it happened to you, your parents saying, give me that money, I'm going to tell you how to spend it? I bet you that to some of you listening here, that happened to. How did you like that? And how is this any different? What it comes down to is that an entity that is powerful over you is taking what you earned and telling you how you are going to spend that money, whether you like it or not. So here are 10 reasons, according to the author of this article, why student debt cancellation is unfair. Number 1, it is unfair to those who sacrifice to pay off their student loans, and it's unfair to those who foot the bill. That right there ought to be the only reason why student loan debt cancellation should not happen. And in my opinion, it's 100% unconstitutional. And we have a runaway administration that doesn't care about the law. Look at the southern borders. And it doesn't care about breaking the law as well. Number 2, it is an upward transfer of wealth. Absolutely. The plumber pays for someone else's college education. Number 3, it encourages going to college when there might be a better choice, such as learning a trade. And it creates incentives to take on new student loan. And that's 100% why student loan debt has skyrocketed, number 1, and why the cost of going to college has skyrocketed as well. I'm sure that most of you that watch this video are around my age. I'm a half centurion. And you remember back in a time when you used to be able to go to college and pay for it with your summer job earnings. Well, not anymore, ladies and gentlemen. Because as soon as the government gets involved in something, for some reason, that either fails or the prices for that skyrocket. And in number 4, they say that it's pretty much a bribe to get people to pick the contestant of who's going to lead the nation next, if you know what I mean. It creates a moral hazard. Absolutely. That's the word I was looking for before. A moral hazard for college administrators to sell useless degrees, creating another overhang of new student debt. And of course, the the administrators of colleges, they're going to say, oh, you need to take this, and this other class, even though it has nothing to do with your degree. You need to take these extra 6 classes in order for you to be able to get that piece of paper. Why? Because they know that the government is guaranteeing the loan, and these students that are younger, they were probably not counseled as having been told that they're going to be paying this back, a lot of them, for the rest of their lives. Number 7, it subsidizes poor decision making, such as majoring in useless degrees, including gender studies, anthropology, archaeology, art history, music, culinary arts, fashion design, philosophy, etc. Now, you can pick whether some of these are useless to you or not, but I think I understand what they're saying, is that it incentivizes people to go ahead and take out loans to go and do a degree that maybe is not in high demand, because they don't have to pay for it until after they graduate, and then they find out that those degrees are pretty much useless. Now, if they were properly counseled by their parents or by counselors in school, they would be like, well, right now the market looks like it really is going to need a lot of pharmacists for the next several years. Maybe that's a great degree to get into. But they don't do that, ladies and gentlemen, because they don't care about you. They don't care about your kids. They care about the bottom line. Number 8, which is why I said that this is unconstitutional and it is unlawful as well. The president has no power to forgive student loans. Doing so creates another precedent for presidential rule by decree. This is too big a financial decision not to involve Congress. The current student loan program was authorized by Congress and contains no such authority to the president. Do we have a president or do we have a dictator? Remember this administration, how they kept saying about Orange Man bad, if you want a dictator, this is what you're going to get, blah, 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 blah. But take a look at how they're ignoring the law. Take a look at the southern border and how they're also breaking the law, ladies and gentlemen, in plain sight. And they're getting away with it. And number 9, like I said, they're getting away with it. Even though the Supreme Court says no, they still do it. I don't understand how they can get away with this and someone with some kind of authority as far as the law goes not stop them. Oh, I forgot. They appointed their DOJ. Okay. Number 10, free money is highly inflationary. And that is true. Why? Because now that they're not having to pay that money back to the banks that they borrowed it from, they're going to be able to use that money that they were using to pay back. They're going to use that money to go out into the market, into the economy, and spend it. What is that? It's inflationary. Why? Because the money's not going to where it's supposed to be going, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, there will be more money out there chasing the same amount of goods. I guess if I had to say it in one sentence, I would say that canceling student loan debt is un-American. Why? Because you didn't work for it, but you still want someone else to pay for it. Having said that, I hope that you enjoyed this little rant on a Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you have a great start to your weekend and a great rest of your weekend. There will be a video coming out tomorrow on Sunday about a couple standalone items that I really wanted to talk about. So hope to see you then. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. I'm out.